And we are ready. We are ready. Ready on the right, ready on the left,
Ready in the middle.
ready on the firing
Can't
line.
say that.
Fire! Hump one, hump two. Welcome to Hump Day, the 14th of January. I'm giving you a little warning right now. 1 month from today will be a day we will celebrate as Valentine's Day. Flowers, chocolate, naughty nighties, those are your choices. But don't forget dinner, a nice dinner at a nice restaurant. That doesn't include fast food. I got it. As it is with the Miranda warning, you now have your Valentine warning. A very pleasant morning to one and all, with a couple of exceptions. I'm Rayford Brown, and I'm here to save you from yourselves today.
Okay, then. Happy hump day on Lee Barrels.
That's it?
That's it.
That's all?
I'm sure there'll be more to follow.
It is a Wednesday.
You're going to get me riled up over something.
Yeah, I know that. It is a Wednesday, and let's look back at Valentine's Day a little bit, though. You know, it's a day with Christian traditions that honors martyred saints named Valentine. It's moved through history, though, evolving through medieval poetry and printed cards, even way back when. We know all about those cards dating back to elementary school. God, were they
I
dreaded.
remember.
Into today's romantic holiday. Can you imagine in a classroom with 30 people and you had to write 30? I hated that. First, second, third grade. 30 cards. I didn't even like these people.
Well, Mama had to go out and get boxes of Valentine cards for us, and then we had to put every student's name on them.
Yeah.
And then you put them in their individual boxes because they always had us bring in a shoebox and we would decorate it. Oh, yeah. Thompson Elementary. I remember that well.
In reality, the history of Valentine's is a mix of paganism, martyrdom, and folklore. And then there's the St. Valentine's Day Massacre that put a damper on that day back in 1929 when Chicago's north side, not the south side, exploded in gang violence. Not like the gangs of present day South Side Chicago. These were actual gangsters led by the chief gangster of all time, Al Capone, in an attempt to eliminate competition because they wanted to control liquor, prostitution, and gambling, leaving a morgue filled with victims, with everyone knowing who did it. Officially, the crime remains unsolved. Try not to think about that on Saturday, the 14th of February, coming up in 1 month. It's not that far away, y'all.
Yeah, well,
good God,
I'll try to get through.
We're halfway through
January.
What happened?
It's flying.
Well, that's good. It normally drags on for me. I just, ugh.
We're ready for April, May.
Yeah. What happened on this date in 1784? Any clue?
Well, I just had that discussion earlier before we went on the air that I'm not a history buff. I do not remember. What?
The Continental Congress ratified the Treaty of Paris.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, that was
ending
top
the
of my
war
list.
for independence. It was not the first Treaty of Paris. There was another one in the document, which was known as the Second Treaty of Paris, because the Treaty of Paris was also the name of the agreement that had ended the 7 Years' War in 1763. Britain officially agreed to recognize the independence of its 13 former colonies as the new United States of America. And here we are today. And still not united, but here we are today.
Well, I wonder if the people of yesterday would look at what we're doing today and be scared.
No, they would be disappointed.
Very disappointed. We were talking before we went on air about a lot of things back in the day and about how life was so simple then. Now it's, you feared going to the grocery store anymore. Yeah. But thank goodness we live in such a good place, but it's just you're constantly looking over your shoulder.
Yep, for sure. There's just so much going on worldwide involving the United States now, and unfortunately, too much of it is involving the United States, and it's happening in the United States.
There's so much going on, I can't keep up right now.
It's really hard to do something. We're going to start off today with some tragic stuff. We do not have any further details, and I don't believe anything that's written on socialist media, so I'm not going to go there.
Right.
Here, officially, a security incident yesterday. That's what the Public Affairs Office at Camp Lejeune is calling it. Resulted in one person dead and it was related to law enforcement action. It happened in the Tarawa Terrace area. Schools in that section were locked down for a period of time yesterday because of gunfire.
Right.
The name of the deceased has not been revealed pending notification of next of kin. That'll come out officially, I'm sure, shortly, because I know the next of kin has been notified. So it's going to be a really tragic story when all of the details are officially unraveled and released later this morning.
Very sad. Very sad.
We know more than we are saying because we don't know that much more officially, and I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to blow something for somebody else.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. We would rather wait to have those things that we may have heard confirmed before we spout our stuff.
A staffer with the New York City Council.
Oh, gosh.
Had an appointment, a scheduled appointment with immigration in the New York. Some legal stuff. 53-year-old Rafael Andres Rubio Borraquez. Don't ask me to do it again. I don't know that that's even right. Overstayed on a 2017 tourist visa. 2018.
That's 9 years.
Yeah, coming up on 9 years ago. A tourist visa. He overstayed on it. Immigration folks had to talk with them about that. Oh, yeah. And on another topic, the immigration folks also had questions about an arrest for assault on him that he got. It's not a big deal. The new mayor, Zoran Mandami, is raising Cain. Filed a complaint. Wants his man released immediately. I'm guessing his Honor knew nothing about the expired travel visa or the assault warrant. My question, did this man pass a background check before he was hired? Does the city routinely hire folks without valid credentials showing they can even work?
Probably.
Unless things have changed since 2008, as a former employer and employer at that time, I had to verify the status of everyone I hired. That was a federal requirement. If you were a foreign national, you were not a citizen, you still had to have the proper credentials for me to be able to hire you. Okay? Homeland Security yesterday said this immigrant had no legal right to be in the United States.
Oh, no.
Travel visa had expired. New York officials countered, saying Borraquez had already been cleared to remain in the U.S. until October of this year. Cleared by whom? I don't know. Maybe he had. Maybe it's all a misunderstanding. According to media stories, he had been working as a data analyst for about a year. Makes one wonder how much data he downloaded. If you're not a legal citizen, you're here, even on the tourist visa, if it was still valid, and you were working in New York City for the council.
Wouldn't you try to get right?
And as a data analyst, would you not be concerned?
Yes.
Would you think any member of the Jacksonville City Council or any member of the Onslow County Board of Commissioners would say, that's okay?
No.
Oh, no. Borraquez. I don't know what that name is. I don't know where he came from. Anyway, his Honor is really PO. Too bad. Get it straight. If his name is still out there, then it's not straight.
Well,
and if somebody passed him, then he would have paperwork to that effect. If somebody had said it's okay, he would have paperwork. If the city council said it's okay, or the mayor, or whoever said it's okay, no, it would not be okay. They don't count.
Well, you hear stories every day of somebody that's getting deported, that was captured, getting deported, and they've been living in our country for like 20 years. They came in on a visa, expired, or whatever. Rayford, they have no one to blame but themselves.
That's not my problem.
They've had 20 years to get it right.
You're creating the problem. You created the problem. And if you can't get it right in that length of time, you know what? You need to go.
It's just like your driver's license expires. You choose not to go out there and renew it.
Don't tell me that you tried, or as a piece of video I saw last night. Oh, I sent the check in, but they sent the check back, and they didn't take it. I still got to go get my license plate, and I got to get my driver's license. I got to do this.
I got to get insurance for the car. Blah blah.
You're a menace to society, and your car is impounded too. Yeah.
Wow. So it's just, I mean, there's some pretty sad stories out there, and
I don't care.
But the thing about it is, it all boils down to, where did your responsibility lie? Yeah. Your responsibility was where you should have gotten up and gone and done what you needed to do, or start the process, be working on it. You've had plenty of time.
You better show a work.
But no, you came here, got a free ride.
You better show a work in progress. That's basically what I would say.
A work in progress. Absolutely
show
right.
Me and the details. Don't give me any lip service. Let me ask you this:
if you're in this country and you don't have the proper paperwork, more than likely you don't have a social security number,
or it's not valid.
How are you supporting yourself? Are we giving you free? Well, I would say free. Are we giving you financial aid? And are you paying taxes? So you've got all these people that are defrauding us.
Every time they buy something, they pay taxes. That's not the taxes we're talking about. It's called income taxes, property taxes. So, Trump administration, he's making some folks mad again, is ending what they call temporary protection status. That's TPS.
Right.
It's commonly known as TPS for Somalia, for the whole place, affecting several thousand Somalis currently living here in the good old US of A, and several hundred currently living in Minnesota under that provision.
Right.
They did have temporary protection status. The Trump administration, in response to all of the crap that's going on, including all of that fraud that seemed to be centered around the Somalis, it's over. Somali migrants with TPS will be required to leave the country no later than 17 March, or they'll be deported, arrested, and then deported.
Once again, how long have they been here?
Temporary means temporary, according to Secretary Kristi Noem of the Department of Homeland Security. Country conditions in Somalia have improved to the point that it no longer meets the law's requirement for temporary protected status. In other words, everything is good there. Now go home. Right now, there are more than 2,400 Somalis living in the United States under this status. Another 1,400 have pending applications. Things are okay in Somalia. We don't offer that status anymore. Do it the right way. You want to immigrate here?
I agree.
Go through the process.
If we were to go to another country, Rayford, we'd have to do the same thing there.
Absolutely.
So,
check the requirements for setting up a permanent status in another country. Pick a nice country like the island of Bonaire. Okay, that's easy. It's a Dutch requirement. But just pick any of these other countries. What do I have to do to have permanent status here? First of all, visiting Bonaire, you got to have a date of departure and a way to get home. They don't even want you there. You also have to maintain insurance, so in case something happens to you there, it's not on them.
You've got to purchase a property.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to apply for residency.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to contact the immigration department at the RCN to apply. You have to obtain a work permit. You have to renew your passport, and you have to apply for citizenship. If you wish to enjoy your property 12 months out of the year, apply for citizenship.
Hello.
Now, my daughter, when she got her visa to go, my granddaughter, she's in college at Appalachian State, but she's going to Greece this year. That was my shoe. I took it off. My foot's itching. I had to scratch my foot. Anyway,
okay.
So they have a sister school in Greece, and that's where she's going this year.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully back soon, because grandma can't stand it. But she had to put down the start date, her first day there, and she had to list her ending date when she'll be coming back.
Yep.
So she had to put it down, the approximate date there. So, she went through all the process, the passport, the visa, everything. It really didn't take that long. It took less time than I thought, but she did all that within a couple months.
You have to do the paperwork.
She waited to the last minute, but she did it all within a couple months.
You don't walk up to the border, sneak across, and then say, okay.
No, she had to actually go to Washington, D.C. and go to the consulate there and get it done, but which I think is crazy. But she did. She got it all done. And
Homeland Security has not stopped because of all the shenanigans up yonder. They're in Minneapolis.
Oh, yes.
Widespread $9 billion fraud scheme involving members of the Somali community plagued the state. That's been one of the big problems. Not sure why the majority of folks in Minneapolis seem to be okay with allowing the fraud to go unpunished. Really? You just want to allow the $9 billion in fraud? Is that okay with you? Don't you, as a taxpayer? I mean, it costs you money. It costs me money because they get this money. The federal government is the one been financing that. And the federal government's got no money except what they take from all 50 states, the people in all 50 states. That's where they get their money, right?
Right.
They don't just have it that falls off the trees.
Right.
So they take our money, a portion of our money has gone to finance these fraudulent companies, children's, whatever they were, centers, food for nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And the money was used for vacations, lavish travel vacations, airline tickets, products, goods, all sorts of stuff our money went for. Mm-hmm. Now, how do we get it back?
We're not going to get it back. We're not going to see it again.
We won't.
Well, listeners, don't you get angry at the thought of you get up and go to work every day, you get that paycheck, you pay your house payment, you pay your car payment, you pay your electricity, you go to the grocery store and cringe as you buy your groceries. Doesn't it even remotely make you mad that you have people that came into the United States? They're not here legally. Mm-hmm. They're getting all this aid. They're getting all this grant money to open leering centers, not learning, but leering centers.
That's what they spilled it.
Open up. A gentleman at the meeting last night that we were at, Rayford, he was kind of funny. He was talking about, I'm thinking about moving to Minnesota so I can get rich. I asked him, are you going to open a leering center? But we're all aware of it. And the thing about it is, none of us never, ever, ever see that money. But it just makes me so mad that I've done everything I was supposed to do. Legally. And that I worked hard all my life. And I had several, besides working full time for the government, I had businesses, on the side, and I worked those. And I sit back, I have a great retirement. I have a nice house, and I sit back and I think, I worked so hard for all of this. I paid my taxes. I did my due diligence. I follow the law. And these people come in and they're living in luxury houses, luxury automobiles. Yes. They don't have to worry where their next penny's coming from. They can go to the grocery store and fill it full of steaks and all that other good food. Mm-hmm. I go to the grocery store and I'm very cautious at what I buy.
I'm becoming a vegetarian.
Yes. I told you I was going to grow big, huge vegetable garden this year and just become a vegetarian.
We're going to have to be doing things like that. Robbie's got to learn how to make eggplant meatballs.
Oh, yeah, that sounds so good. Keith Patterson, I agree with you. It's ludicrous.
Is that what Keith said?
Yeah. And Tom, he's just going off.
And the thing is, Tom and Keith, our telephone number is 910-333-0139. We don't hear from folks like you. We seldom hear from folks like you. We do have one caller up there in Tennessee that's from Jacksonville. She's from originally there, but her husband's from Jacksonville. I know how she feels.
I'm about ready to move up there with her.
We seldom hear from other individuals around here who feel like Tom and Keith and you or me.
Right.
I know they're there because every time I'm out anywhere, like at last night's meeting where we attended, was with a total of 16 people there,
Yes.
which was great for a board meeting.
It
Good
was
God.
great.
It's not a public meeting; it's a
Such
private
a
meeting,
good
private
group
club.
of people. Right.
But they are all they all feel the same way. They all work for what they've got. They're, it's just.
Speaking of Tennessee, here's one for you, Jennifer. I just cracked up when I saw this. There were some protesters out in the town of Tennessee. I do not have the name of the town right now, but they were out there, and the Highway Patrol was out there, and various other law enforcement, because these protesters, of course, were in the street. And this one highway patrolman, Tennessee highway patrolman, was going down the road, and this protester, wearing a safety vest, like he's directing traffic, walks out in front of the trooper, puts his hand up to stop, and the trooper stops. And the guy's like, wait a minute, walks over to the trooper's vehicle, grabs the roll bars he has in the cage bars he has in the front of his on the front bumper, grabs it, and then just lowers himself to the ground and lays there and claims like the trooper hit him. Now, do we want to talk about a clown show?
Is he in jail or in the hospital?
Well, I'm sure he's.
Hold on tight, Bubba. We're going to take a ride.
Yeah. But, then he was claiming he was hit. But the thing about it is stupidity. Stupid is, stupid does. These highway patrolmen have cameras in their vehicles, and it shows him plainly walking up and goes, wait a minute, grabs the bars and lowers himself to the ground and acts like he was just hit by the trooper.
Not yet.
These are who we have out there protesting.
Not yet. Not yet. Was it?
Yeah.
Yet?
Well, we're talking about vehicle, but these are what we have protesting.
People, they're stupid is as stupid does.
Oh my gosh! It's just,
all right. Let's take a look. See out there.
Yeah, let's take a look at the weather.
Small craft advisory is in effect. Goes into effect this evening, and it will be that way through late tomorrow night. Today offshore. Okay, don't even give it any consideration. Just stop it now. Offshore, southwesterly winds 15 to 20 with occasional gusts to 25, seas 3 to 5 feet. They're only 5 seconds apart. Small seas 5 seconds apart, one thing. Big seas, huge 5-footers, 5 seconds apart. It's going to be choppy. 3 to 5s, that's going to be kind of sloppy. You're not going to enjoy it. Sounds and rivers choppy. Thursday, northwesterly winds 15 to 20, gusts to 25, seas 4 to 6 feet, 2 to 4 near shore, sounds and rivers choppy. Friday, northwesterly winds 10 to 15, becoming southwesterly in the afternoon, 2 to 4 footer, sounds and rivers, moderate chop.
Today we have a chance of rain this afternoon, mostly cloudy with a high near 60, light southwest wind increasing 5 to 9 miles per hour in the morning. Tonight, a chance of rain this evening, cloudy with a low around 35. Thursday, cloudy through mid-morning, then gradually clearing with a high of 45. Thursday night, clear with a low of 17. Friday, sunny with a high near 48. And those chances of snow again have disappeared.
Yeah, buddy.
So every day when we read the weather, it's changed. Anyway, that's what weather does.
Yeah, okay. Around the county here this morning and over into Catrick County a little bit. We got the ham radio operators. A bunch of them got up this morning. And unfortunately, Randy, I think, is probably recovering because he wasn't in a meeting last night.
He was sick.
The report is he wasn't
Randy.
doing well. Randy, get well. Lee out there in Southwest, 35 degrees this morning, 97% humidity. No wind. It was calm. Nothing in the rain gauge. Over in the Borough, Joe, 42 degrees, 74% humidity, northeasterly winds, very light. Nothing in the rain gauge. Dale and Carroll up around the bend in the river, New River, 36 degrees at the time. And he said originally it was 35 and it climbed to 36, 89% humidity. It was very calm and nothing in their rain gauge. Ward over at Cedar Point, he gets the high marks for the day, 47 degrees, 61% humidity. That's nice and low. Yes. And a southwesterly breeze. That's going to be part of the reason he's got nice warm temperatures.
Right.
Southwesterly wind coming in over the water. The water is going to be much warmer than our air, okay? I mean, it might feel 35, 36 degrees here, but the water temperature is still going to be in the 50s. So that kind of heats up the air near the surface of the water, and the southwesterly winds blows it right across to us. That's why some of the temperatures will vary when you're close to the water. He had some light winds out of the southwest and nothing in the rain gauge. Ken in Onslow Bay, and Ken was always smiling. You ever notice? We don't see him on the radio, but you can hear it in his voice. And we saw him last night. He was just a smiling. 41 degrees in Onslow Bay. That's just down here off of Rocky Run Road. 65% humidity. And Woodlands, you had 35 at the time, 95% humidity. Right. Nothing in the winds were calm, and nothing in the rain gauge. And here in Country Club at the studio, at that time it was 31. It's up to 32 and still climbing here. 99% humidity, right? And light winds out of the southeast, and nothing in the rain gauge. And up. Now, the reason my temperature here is going to vary is not because of that. It's because the temperature gauge is about 10 feet off the ground. No buildings surrounding it. It's out in the clear. And that's kind of like they're supposed to be. If you're sitting over asphalt, the reason you get into your car in the summertime and it's 112 degrees or something, because the asphalt that you're sitting on has been baking in the sun all day long. And it heats up the undercarriage of your car. Right. And so there's a lot of factors that go into everyone's. Now here up near the house, another sensor up at the house, it had 35 degrees at the same time. It's probably climbed also. So that's why it is. And
mine's about 10 feet up, but it's probably about
2 feet from the house.
No, about 10 feet from the house. So, and a lot of it depends on where your sensor's at. And, we grew up thinking if it was raining here, it was raining everywhere.
Nope.
And actually, you can sometimes look down the street and see rain and not have rain where you're at. That's right. That's weird.
Remember those summer days when you had thunderstorms and you could be driving along and it's just totally dry. You see heavy clouds up ahead and suddenly you run into a wall of rain, literally. And then suddenly you come out of it and it's light outside again and you can smell the fresh air because the rain is coming gone. And the humidity is all over the place, as we have seen. 75% in one location, 97%, 74, 89, 61, 65 this morning, 95, and 99.
Right. We could be in a pocket.
Yeah. And
they could be in a pocket. There's pockets.
It goes all over the place.
Yes, it does.
I tell you, we don't have anybody this morning coming in. We have Chris
Dr.
Miller.
Rose.
Oh, Dr. Rose at 7:30. That's right. It is Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
Don't
forget we have an event today.
Is she still back? Has she returned, or is she still down in the DR?
All I can tell you is that she said she'd be giving us a call today.
Okay, so. I couldn't remember whether she was back today or not. We'll see. But anyway, she was on vacation last week down in the Dominican Republic and called us from there.
Nice.
So where it was 900 degrees and she was getting a sunburn. Okay, let's see. What else is happening? Oh, airstrikes.
Yes.
We got them going on. We'll get back to Minneapolis and some of the melee that was happening there overnight.
Oh, it was crazy last night.
We've hit Somalia, ISIS strongholds in Somalia. Whoops! Stepped up our airstrikes throughout in the beginning of January, and telling Al-Shabaab, the local affiliate of Islamic State group. In a recent release, it came out that U.S. forces working with the Somali federal government carried out the airstrikes against al-Shabaab militants. I knew somebody would be thinking about, oh my God, we just talked about Somalia doesn't, they don't have that stuff anymore against the Somalis. No, it's not. They got terrorist activities going on. And so the Somali forces are working with us. So now they're the good guys. So we don't have to worry about that. We just have to worry about removing their strongholds of terrorist activity. ISIS, alive and well, in spite of what previous regimes have claimed. part of an ongoing efforts to degrade the group's ability to threaten the U.S. homeland. That's why we're after them. Right. ISIS poses a threat to every one of us every day. We just do not know what they're doing. We do not know who we have in this country. We know that we've got and they have deported 500,000 so far this year. Well, in the past year, over 500,000, and then there are a bunch of self-deported because they knew it was coming. How many others are still here? We're looking for them. We're looking just as hard as we can. And the problem is we don't have identifications on a lot of them. We know where some of those who are here because they've been checking in or doing this or filing papers or, their neighbors have turned them in or whatever. They're rounding them up. They are illegal.
Well, yes. And I mean, you just don't know. You just don't know.
Let me ask you that. You watch these frauditor stories and you watch the stories about our friend John Legato.
John Legato.
He puts up, and he carries some from other individuals.
How
about these police officers when they stop a vehicle? And you don't stop a vehicle. There's no such thing as a routine check. You stop a vehicle for something that the driver has done or something that's wrong as the car.
Right.
And if it's a taillight, you generally go up. You don't. If you write a warning ticket, it's because you want to make sure they get that thing repaired, right?
Correct.
Or a headlight. Robbie had a headlight out and coming back from Moorhead. Officer pulled her over, and I said, "How close are you to AutoZone?" She said, "There's one right here. I know where it is." I said, "Stop in there. They'll replace it for you."
Right.
She did. They did, and she went on her merry way. The officer didn't write her anything.
Right.
But one of the things that will occur when you walk up to that car, you will notice something wrong with the driver.
Right.
And at that point in time, it becomes more of an investigation. Do I have a right as a police officer to request and then demand your driver's license or your identification information?
I would say yes.
The answer is yes.
Well,
what happens if you don't do that? What is the next step? It's illegal. Right. Not to provide that information upon the request. First, it's a request, and then it's going to be a demand, and then it's going to be get out of the car.
Yank you out of the car.
No, that's going to be the fourth time. If they don't get out of the car, you'll be pulled out of the car.
Rafer, first of all, it's your responsibility.
So the point is, let me finish that.
Right.
But my thought is that is illegal. The act that is being committed by, if nothing else, not giving the driver's license or identification to the officer is an illegal act, right?
Right.
Is he just supposed to go on his merry way and let you go on your merry way?
That's not his job.
That's right. So all these individuals that are in this country illegally, they have the opportunity to come and self-deport or explain themselves or find out what's going on.
That's correct.
And when they don't, then we have to go after them.
That's right. Well, you have situations like too where an officer can see your brake lights are not working or you're driving a little erratic. Maybe you're super tired and you're just all over the place. He stops you. His intent is to go up, inform you of the infraction, check on you. Now, if he gets up there and he can smell alcohol, he can smell weed, he's got probable cause then to take further action.
I only had two bit.
Dr. Rose.
Just 2 beers, officer. I only had 2 beers.
Yeah, I've only had 2.
Came in 5-gallon buckets, but I only had
open
2
containers
beers.
In the car.
Dr. Rose, good morning.
Dr.
How
Rose,
are you?
Good morning.
I'm doing well. I hope you all are.
We're doing great.
Fine. How's the rum punch down there in the DR?
How was the rum punch?
Yes, the rum punch.
I didn't have any rum punch.
You didn't? Okay.
I didn't sit on the beach. I just visited Hannah, so it was no occasion for a rum punch.
Oh, okay. You just got sunburn, right?
No, not really. It's hard to get a sunburn in the city.
First you have her drinking.
I guess. I could have sat outside.
Right. First you have her drinking. Now you have her out there getting a sunburn.
The rum punch is just it's the cocktail or the fruit. It's the welcoming drink there in some of these islands.
How was your visit, Dr. Rose?
It was very good. Hannah and I spent some good time.
Nice.
And we're just trying to get her ready to come back home. She's done this summer.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Yeah, I know you'll be happy, but that still gives you an opportunity. You know the lay of the land, and it's a good place to go visit on vacation, though, right?
Absolutely. Oh, it's a gorgeous city. and Santo Domingo has way too many people in it. So,
oh boy,
it's good for Pastor Chris to stay away.
How many Santo Domingos are there in the Caribbean?
I don't know any others. There might be smaller cities that are Santo Domingo, but that's the only one that I know that is a large city and a capital as well.
Yeah. I thought there were several. I have to double check that.
It's the oldest city in the Americas, and it was founded in 1492.
I wonder by whom.
Oh, I don't know. He might be a renegade. It was Christopher Columbus and his brother Diego.
Yeah, there you go. Hence Santo Domingo and Diego Garcia and all sorts of places, right?
That's true. Santo Domingo was founded for I think it was the Dominican. What is that? The Catholic. The Catholic.
The diocese.
The friars. Yeah. So he wanted to do a good job back. I think it was like in the 1200s. And he gave everything for the poor. He's a little bit of a Robin Hood kind of guy, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Yeah, I've never been to the DR. I've been over to next door. Didn't care for it, but I was there for other reasons.
Oh, yeah, that's two very different countries.
Yes, sir, buddy.
And I'll tell you, the president of the Dominican Republic really has set up a border that protects the Dominicans from the Haitians coming in illegally. A little similar to the problem that we've been combating here in America, but they have been a lot more successful in the past, I think, 3 or 4 years. People did complain about some of his tactics and being heavy-handed, but you do have to protect your borders, and he seems to be doing a good job at doing that.
Go figure that. They want to protect their borders from other. Amazing. Amazing. Influenza, still one of the big topics in the medical world, I take it.
Absolutely. And we're still getting quite a few cases. Wow. Monday was a really difficult day. I was surprised. I thought that it would taper down, but the numbers of flu cases in the clinic ticked up. We did have a few cases of COVID in the last couple of days. But they seem very they seem to be doing very well in spite of the diagnosis. They actually look better than our flu patients. Our flu patients looked like they were really sick, and our COVID patients they looked. Obviously they were in the clinic. Their parents brought them in, but they did not look. They did not look very sick at all.
Yeah. Well, I guess out of precaution, some people are jumping the gun here, perhaps. Something that I read, I'm reading it again here from the state's Department of Health and Human Services. The licensed pharmacists at retail locations are now legally able in North Carolina to test and treat for influenza. Did you know that?
What?
I did not. It's a very simple procedure. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to put it down to test and to have a positive, and then to be able to give out Tamiflu, which is maybe what the patient should be able to do for themselves.
Right.
The problem with that I see is that if you give them the Tamiflu and they have 20% of people have another diagnosis along with the flu. And the patient, the child, might go back home with the Tamiflu and get worse and just wait for the Tamiflu to start working. It never does. So, there is that risk. On the other hand, it keeps people out of the doctor's offices.
Sure.
So there's good and bad. And the thing is to take precautions and to realize that just because you're getting the Tamiflu doesn't mean that everything's going to get treated. If within 24 hours or maybe even less, you're feeling as bad or worse, and it's time to call your doctor.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Is there a period of time that maybe give it 24 hours or how long a period of time? And so give them 24 hours. And if they're not better, or at least definitely not any worse, then, things might be okay. But as you said, you can test positive for things like flu, but have some other stuff that's really bad hanging around, getting ready to really rack your brains, right?
Absolutely. Some of the secondary infections that you can have from the flu would be pneumonia,
yep.
a bad sinus infection, ear infections. I mean, these are pretty serious things, especially in pneumonia. So you got to be on the watch out if you are diagnosed or you diagnose yourself at home. And there are flu tests at home. If you suspect you have any of those, then you need to call your doctor or visit your local urgent care center emergency room before it gets worse.
Now, this home test, does it involve a swab that you got to stick down your throat and,
rub your nose,
check your tonsils and everything else?
Yeah, so, some people might be a little dainty in doing it and might not get an adequate swab. So there's that.
Oh my! Better do it right if you're going to do it, because
if you're going to do it right. Yes.
If you do it and it doesn't come out positive, then you're going to be questioning yourself as to whether it's real or not.
Urgent care is going to do the same thing. So
I know that, but at least they know what they're doing. I don't.
I don't know. I think I'd rather do it myself. I know when to stop. I know when it's about to hit my brain.
That is the point. That sometimes the technician does go a little hard, a little deep.
Don't they have some little markings on those swabs that don't go any deeper than this or stop?
Should mark it on my nose.
You could patent that.
I've got it done. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
You're making my nose hurt, right?
I mean, it's kind of like, all the syringes and stuff that you get for your pets and things like that to go. They got markings on them. They tell you to give them 8. Go to this mark right here, and we're doing it for one of our little kitty cats right now. And that little mark right there, it's hard to see that
with all that fur.
And then that too. But so Robbie just painted a little line around that spot. Stop here.
There you go.
One important thing that I just thought about with the Tamiflu is that it's not recommended if. There's some recommendations of maybe a pregnant woman, and I'm not familiar with them, but it's not recommended if you are after your 3rd day of illness. Your doctor may not prescribe it for you because the flu is considered to be a 5-day illness. If you're past more than 50% of your illness, it's really not going to help you. But the Tamiflu actually does is it shortens the time of the illness. It'll decrease the severity by a little bit, and it may decrease your being able to be contagious. Mm-hmm. And so those 3 things are decreased already on day 3, so that if you've had more than 3 days of having had symptoms, particularly a fever, your doctor may not prescribe it because he considers that it's not going to help you at all at that point.
Okay. Well, I don't know how many deaths we've had. I don't see a running total here, but I know that it's been quite a few. But last season, we had over 500 in North Carolina.
Wow. Wow. That's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people.
That is a lot of people. But remember that it's because of the secondary effects of the flu. So that we're categorizing it as the flu, but it's the pneumonia. It's the infection in your blood, which is called sepsis. Right. It's something else, and it's usually the elderly. So there's still time for the older folks to get their flu shot if they haven't gotten it, to help you boost up your immunity. But just take that care while we still have this much flu going around, to not go into really crowded places, and wash your hands, and avoid people that have the flu. Those are great precautions to take, apart from getting the flu shot.
Yeah, I got my flu shot from my doctor. They didn't have it in the beginning, and so I sort of had to wait a little bit. But the pharmacists, they seemed to have plenty of it at the time. But I kind of want my doctor to have a record of what I got,
Yes.
so that when I forget, did I get my flu shot?
Exactly.
I can just call over there and
Yes.
say, did I get my flu shot? Yep, you did.
Yes.
Don't worry about it. You're good.
Well, I get mine primarily from 2 different places. My doctor, who is your doctor, and from CVS Pharmacy. So there's records both places.
Well, what happens if I screw up? And what happens if I screw up and I forgot that I got it and I go to the drugstore now? Get it again.
They're going to when
I think you'll be fine.
Yeah.
If you happen to get a second one. You're overdosing on the flu shot, but it's not necessarily going to harm you.
Okay. Well, maybe residual and hang in there for next year.
I don't think it works that way.
Well, Dr. Rose,
I'm asking.
the shot for RSV. Now, is that something you get yearly, or are they going to come out with something that's good for life?
Well, that's an interesting one, because those recommendations are still sort of a work in progress. I don't know that they're firm. I know that for pregnant women, they're giving the woman that's expecting an RSV shot. If she has an RSV shot, the baby does not need to get one. But that still is a work in progress about those recommendations. I don't know if they're going to do a yearly one. We're not doing a yearly one. Once the baby is, I think it's like 4 or 5 months, something around there, we don't have to give another RSV shot. But I'm sure that because it's a work in progress, those recommendations might change.
Well, let me ask you something else now. They've come out with a new shot for pneumonia that's supposed to be good for life now.
If you're really old, it's good for your life.
For the older?
If you're older, and now that shot for pneumonia is not just pneumonia. It's the what's called strep pneumo, which is the bacteria that causes the most dangerous form of pneumonia. And once a kid is vaccinated against it, they're vaccinated for life. But those are we give them 4 shots until they're properly immunized. For adults, I'm not as familiar with the procedure. It's very similar to the one that we give children, and I thought it was 1 or 2 previously, but it's primarily for people that, 1, they're older, 2, maybe they have like a spleen damage or some sort of accident where their spleen is gone, because the spleen can help you fight off pneumonia. And the other one is if you have some immune defense problem condition. So if you have any of those situations, being very elderly, having a spleen or a blood problem, or having an immune deficiency, then ask your doctor about it, because I think it's a good idea to have the pneumonia vaccination.
I agree. Well, there you go.
All right.
I know they came out with this new shot, and I got it last year, or was it this year? I don't remember. But they were like, "Oh, this is going to outlive you," and I was like, "What does that mean?"
Yeah. Well,
what does that mean?
Well, it's good for about 6 months. So you figure it
You
out.
know something I don't know?
No.
Am I dying?
Yeah. Well, everybody is from the day they're born.
That's right. One day closer.
That was not good wording.
Yeah, no, it was a very bad word. I was depressed the rest of the day. I'm like, no.
Yeah, that was a problem. There was a problem there in the wording.
Yes.
This should be good for life. That was the proper way to say that.
If you don't live too long, it's good for life. And if you die, then it was good for your life. Okay.
Wow.
Thank you, Dr. Rose. We do appreciate it as always.
As always.
Oh, I love how you guys tickle my brain. I have to be quick on my toes.
Well, we don't know what's coming down, and some of these things are people ask us, and it's like, you think I'm smart? No, we'll ask somebody who is
smarter than a fish.
Oh,
so
yeah,
that's sweet.
No, it's It's always great talking to you and
Yeah.
listening to your knowledge and your tips. And even though you deal pediatrics, you're always there for us.
They're just
too.
little us.
Yeah. She's
We-
always
Thank
there
you
for
so
us.
All right.
Always.
And and thank you too, because we do this in a very conversational way. It's not like you sit down and we read a list of questions to you like you're some, bureaucrat things out there. We want you to be able to communicate with the people, and I think you do. I know you do. Let's just put it that way. Just as
I feel, I feel the same way.
Okay.
I enjoy it, and I'm talking to you guys like the patient asked me questions, so I think that's the best way to do
Right.
it. Not like you're using these big words. If you put it in a way that everybody understands it, then they can make the best of the information.
Back in the TV news days, I've referred to them many times as the people who watch the 6 o'clock news. They're hardworking people. They come home, they sit down. They're known as Joe Six-Packers because they've grabbed a six-pack from the fridge. They sit there and they watch the news. But they are the working people. They are the normal people in this country. Done. And we have to reach them and communicate with them.
That's right.
That's why I insisted we communicate in a way that everyone understands.
Absolutely.
So-
And
Absolutely.
we're grateful for you guys.
And we're
Thank you
grateful
for doing what you're doing.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
We appreciate it. You take care.
Stay warm.
Bye-bye. Talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.
Have a good week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Dr. Rosemary Stein, pediatrician extraordinaire. And I mean, can you imagine the kids going to her?
You know,
I mean, you
Rayford,
think about it.
I think we're going on about 9-10 years now. She's been
It's
a part of the show.
since 2014-ish,
2015, I think.
2015.
Is when she first came
But
into our.
she's just so easy to understand, and it's
Right.
one of the reasons that her bedside manner would be wonderful if you were a sick person. Can you imagine?
Right. And you can follow her on Facebook. She, Rosemary Stein, she puts a lot of her stories, her
does she?
children's stories
Good.
and family stories on there. And it's such a great read. It's very heartwarming. So,
All right, before we get into some more of the mess, passengers aboard a taxiing aircraft
no.
were scared to death last month when chilling screams suddenly echoed from beneath the cabin
What?
just moments before the plane was scheduled to go airborne.
What?
It
You
was
getting off?
taxiing. A ground crew member became trapped inside the plane's cargo hold when doors inadvertently closed behind him. He's up there. You know, those guys get inside those cargo holes and other people
Right.
throw them luggage and they keep moving it
He would have
around.
never lived through a flight.
No.
Whew.
And this was on December 13th. That wasn't a Friday, was it? No. When Air Canada Flight 1502 was preparing to depart to Rono Pearson Airport for New Brunswick,
Mm.
the Airbus flight, which was carrying 184 passengers, ultimately canceled. No kidding. Following that, it's an Air Canada flight. What in that world? Did nobody else know he was in there?
Somebody
You-
failed to do their job.
The door inadvertently closed shut.
In-
I think somebody, one of his buddies,
Inadvertently.
did not like him anymore.
Like a wind came along and just whoosh,
If the
shut the
wind-
door.
Uh,
No. Mm-mm.
uh,
Yeah.
Passengers told Canadian broadcasters up there that distressing sounds of muffled banging and desperate screams fill the rear of the aircraft. Can you imagine thinking, where's that coming from? And looking down at your feet, and
I'd
that's
reached
below
up-
deck.
I'd reached up and got my overhead my luggage in the overhead compartment, like, let me off.
No, the plane was taxiing.
Stop the plane. Is there a cord that you can pull the brake
No,
like you
that's
do
not
on a
a train.
train?
I hope not. God, can you imagine that?
Oh,
That would be a problem.
wow.
They said flight attendants were running down the aisle in alarm. Some of the people that were sitting towards the back of that plane heard the person screaming and banging, trying to get their attention, according to one of the passengers. We could see the crew gathering around the plane, so we knew something was happening. Well, there's your clue. Then the pilot tells us that there is someone from the crew in the luggage hold.
Oh,
Not good. Now, I don't. Luggage holes sometimes carry live animals. So I don't know whether there's,
Right.
I assume that they have to be pressurized to carry animals. I need to get somebody else who's smart.
We need to call Captain Steve.
Yeah, I'll call Captain Larry. He's
you
down in
call your
Puerto
captain.
Rico.
I'm gonna call Captain Steve and ask if he'll call our show. I love him. I love him. You put me on to him, doggone it.
He gives some good information. Sometimes he is a little bit Hollywoodish, but
he's making a lot of money off his podcast now.
Yeah, no one was hurt in the airline mess. Good golly, Miss Molly, I cannot imagine. The guy was probably like, "I'm going for a free ride. I don't really want it."
I'd be screaming and banging on everything too. And could you imagine though?
I would hope that
the crew not knowing exactly
if unless they got two separate compartments, one for live critters, because live critters fly on planes a lot.
Yes, yes.
One of them cost me my luggage one time.
No, mine had to ride in my pocket. Not going down under there. No.
They have to be in cages, and they have to be in below that.
In my pocket,
no,
right here in my shirt.
You're going to have to get a bigger coop.
Well, that's okay. Mine are little.
But they're, so where was I going from? I'm going from Aruba.
Yeah.
I forgot where we landed. Anyway, headed for another island, and the luggage that was supposed to be transferred to the small plane for the little island hopper, they left my luggage behind.
You don't have much luck when you
just irritated me. Yes, normally I do. I've only had 2 cases, and that was the only 10 of missing luggage, other than the airline really screwed up. And it came on the next flight. I had to go down about 4 hours later and pick it up.
You had a situation a couple of years ago, not to bring up bad memories, where they transferred the wrong person. I'm just going to say it. You can tell the story if you want. A body, yeah, your friend. And when you get there,
I wasn't on that plane. I wasn't there. I didn't take that flight.
Still, I mean,
I was still part of the invasion force.
Yeah, but still, it had to do with you.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that was a crazy story. Wow. Coming back home. Talk about
is Madam Trump supporter, regardless of whatever he says or does, ask you a question.
What? Oh, okay, go ahead. Were you talking to me?
What do they call it? Trump derangement syndrome? You'll support him regardless?
Yeah, there are people that are hardcore Trump that no matter what he does, they've got him on a pedestal.
Is it presidential to say F you to people?
That was something.
What was it, Ford factory or something?
Ford
factory in Michigan yesterday.
He was there visiting, and during his walkthrough, and he was up on the galley walking through, and one of the workers called him a pedophile.
Yeah.
And Trump turned around
and said, supporter or something like that.
Yes. And Trump said ABCDEFU and flipped him off. And I was like, and see, I had been watching little bits of that yesterday, but I did not see that until somebody brought it to my attention. I went back and I saw the news clips, and they were on all stations, not just one. So, but I was like,
what would you do?
Whoa. If he had done it to me?
If somebody had done that to you, let's say we're walking somewhere, we're going to a meeting, or we got this event that we're attending, and somebody says that to you.
Proper protocol was just ignore it and go on.
I know. Would you be able to exercise proper protocol?
Yes, I would have just ignored it. I've been mad, but.
How about if you'd undergone the same bombardment, 2 impeachment proceedings, all this sort of good stuff? How about
I'm saying myself.
I know that, but how about if you were under that kind of irritation?
If I was him, I probably would have just done the same thing. I mean, he's the president. He can do what he wants to. Me, I'm just but if somebody does it to me, I'm just going to walk away and ignore him and probably go hit a wall later or something like that. But him, I mean, you think that's kind of unpresidential, but then again, enough is enough.
What is unpresidential today? What has become unpresidential? I mean, and back in the day, you didn't hear anybody using profanity.
No.
I mean, when we read
right.
the transcripts that were from Nixon's days in office.
Yes.
Remember reading all those transcripts and saying, holy
I remember,
mackerel.
but I don't recall.
Oh, there was, I mean, there were the typical vulgarities
mm-hmm.
that so many people use in daily work, daily everything they do, you know.
Well, you know,
but I considered that very unpresidential because I had never seen it before that time.
Right.
Okay, in 72, 3, 4. I had never seen a president doing anything like that. Never seen behind the scenes stuff because it was always sanitized, manicured for the public.
Right, exactly.
Everything the president did.
That'd been president. That happened to me. I would have just ignored it. Then told my Secret Service, go get that guy, take him out back and whip his tail. You know, I mean, but it's Trump. Trump is Trump. But, you know, everything has turned towards that these days. If you watch mainstream media, they're cussing on the news now.
I know it.
And don't go to a podcast.
Oh.
People that I know that are on regular news shows at nighttime, well-known people, you get them on a podcast and there's one word that's a very favorite of everyone's nowadays, not everyone's, but those that use it. And that's the F word. Mm-hmm. I mean, they sling that around like it's
women have been doing it forever. Fine.
Fine, whatever.
Right?
No, that's my favorite, whatever.
What would I do if I'm walking through and somebody said something like that to me?
You'd probably just look at them and give them a dirty look, and then you'd go out and get their license plate number, and then you'd come back in and you'd do a check on them, you know. So
no, I wouldn't do that. That's all recorded.
Then probably go put a bag of poop on their porch, light it on fire.
Nah, that's child's play. Hey, how many spare tires you got with you today, bud?
Mm-hmm.
That's a favorite question that I ask people. How many spare tires did you bring today?
Yeah,
I hope you got more than one.
Really. I mean, you know, you learn through the years, especially as you get older. You just let it go.
You do.
Let it go.
And, you know,
Trump yesterday, I was like, whoa.
You ever engage them, you're going to lose. He loses even among the people that don't like him. That was one more load that he's got to carry.
Well, first of all, it was disrespectful of the heckler to do what he did. He should have taken a higher road.
I mean, we got hecklers on here every day.
Right. And it didn't help with Trump.
You know, some of the people that the Trump supporters, in spite of anything or everything, doesn't matter to them.
Right.
They can make up an excuse. Oh, that's just Trump. He's from New York.
Right.
I mean, I heard
that. Doesn't matter where you're from.
I heard that in the very first days of his campaigning. That's just the way Trump is. He's from New York, and that's the way New Yorkers are.
Could you imagine sitting in the back room at a congressional meeting that's not being aired on TV?
Oh, it's like
and look, I watch a lot of those congressional meetings, and some of those congressmen, women, heathens, whatever, some of their language now, it'll knock you right off the chair. Yeah. And the sad thing is, I'm getting accustomed to it. That's what's sad.
That's a problem. Yeah.
Yes.
Being an old guy from the South, it used to bother me a lot. And in recent years, it used to bother me a lot until it became so commonplace on TV and everywhere else is to hear a lady. So we in the South always refer to our women as ladies, right? Period.
That's right.
To hear a lady come out and
what's the first thing you think of? Trailer park. That's what people say. Trailer park. She's trailer park.
I hadn't thought about that, but I lived in a trailer park.
I grew up in a trailer park, not just down the road. Your neighbor owned it.
I never grew up, but I didn't grow up in.
I had wheels on my trailer.
We did too.
Yeah. But we grew up happy and safe.
It was a place I stayed until I could find a place that I wanted in Wilmington after I moved there. And it was several years. I bought it. And it was in a great location. I wish I had a home built right there. Golly.
Well, it was a great location where I grew up at. And it was a nice family park. Nowadays, it's... But, you know, I mean, we as kids, we could stay outside in the yard all night long and camp out in our tents. Yeah. We could ride bikes at 2:00 in the morning. Everybody looked out for everybody. Yeah. It was a wonderful place.
We could do that too, because I carried a BB gun on my bike on the handlebars going down the road.
I had a slingshot in my pocket, but that's about it.
Anyway, Trump was caught on video.
That was,
And the White House said, it's okay. It's appropriate and unambiguous response is the way the White House laid it.
Well, with Rayford, if you
there are a lot more important things out there
mm-hmm.
than to let that be the major news point of the day.
Yes,
it's fine to put it out there. And, the haters are going to hate, the Trump supporters are going to support him, and it's not going to mean anything tomorrow.
Absolutely right. It's old news now. It's old news. But yeah, they
okay, in Minnesota.
Let's go back to Minnesota. Those people are crazy, Rayford. Crazy.
Woman in a car blocking ICE operation with her car. Agitators surrounded the guards. Probably the agents who were there. Why are you doing that? If you're so afraid, people who talk out of both sides of your mouth, if you're so afraid of ICE agents because of what happened a week ago and you just don't trust any of them, why would you block them? Why would you surround their car, this car? Why would you fight if you were the driver of this car where they told you to get out of the car? Why would you do that if you're so deathly afraid of these law enforcement officers?
Because you're
full of crap.
You're out there. Exactly. You're full of doo-doo. You're just out there because you want to agitate. You want to show your tail end. I told you last night, I text you and Chris, and I said, oh, you should see, there was hundreds of people that had gone to the front of a hotel where they found out ICE was staying. Mm-hmm. There was hundreds. It's late at night. They brought pots and pans and they're banging on them with sticks. They brought drums, playing drums. The guitarist was out there doing his heavy metal. They were all yelling, F ICE, F ICE, F ICE. And it went on, and it was so noisy. And you saw no one in the lobby. The doors were all locked. But then eventually you started seeing law enforcement in the lobby. And these were state police. And, they started filling
up the lobby.
Any local law? No local law. I saw no local law at all there. They're not going to get involved. They've been told to stand down. It's a shame because one day you're going to need the feds in there helping you. I think I washed it up 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I fell asleep. When I woke back up, most of the crowd had dispersed. So more than likely, they came out those doors, and there was probably a lot of gas thrown. And,
you know what we used to say? We had a little saying in hand to use. Right. We did not have that issue here in Jacksonville.
No.
But we came up with things to say.
Right.
And one was, remember we used to have troubles with hippies because they were all dealing with, they were smoking dope and all that sort of good stuff. So there were always problems, sit-ins and this and that and whatever. We didn't have that kind of an issue here.
Right.
Hippies here would have been stood out like sore thumbs and didn't do well in a marine environment. I'll just tell you. But our jokes were, if they call you, or if they're giving you grief and they say, well, our response is, next time you need help, because it was about the police. They were all anti-cop. Next time you need help, call a hippie. We're not going to help you.
Well, that makes me think of a story. I was working security at a Hardee's. It's on Western Boulevard late on Friday, Saturday night. And, about 2 o'clock, that's when the bars empty out.
Yeah.
And there was a bar close by.
To sober up at the hamburger joints.
There was a bar close by that was a gay bar. And you had a lot of young men that would go dress up as women. That was their thing, but 2 o'clock, 2:30 in the morning, I have a group of drunk Marines that are still wearing the makeup from where they dressed up at this club, putting on shows as women, whatever. And then I have a group of bikers in the restaurant. And I'm like thinking, this is not going to go well. This is not going to go well. And I'm thinking, who do I want backing me up?
Bikers.
I chose the bikers. I went over there. Hey guys, how you doing? Now you're not going to cause me any problems tonight, or are you going to be there for me, aren't you? They go, we got you.
If I have some problems with any stuff in here, y'all gonna help. You got my back.
Yeah,
they will.
Yeah, and they were cool because I went up and we talked, and and I respected them, and they were so respectful. Don't you worry, we have your back. I said, well, let's just not start anything tonight, because you could see the two sides eyeing each other. I was like, oh, this is not going to be good.
Bring it on. Y'all take it to the parking lot next door.
Right.
That's not my turf. That's all I can tell you. If y'all going to go at it, just take it to the parking lot next door. They'll call the police and they'll come here in a little while. They'll figure it for you.
Well, in news in Onslow County last night, the town of Holly Ridge voted in favor of annexing about 1,500 acres of land that currently sits in the Pender Onslow counties. The decision follows previous discussions and resolutions with the current council member Joshua Patty supporting the idea of smart growth and development. So it was voted on. They have moved forward with their plans to annex that property right there off of Highway 17.
And I think that
we saw that coming.
I think it's coming up very soon. Onwasa's got a meeting because the property is owned by Onwasa. The Onwasa board is going to meet. And that's likely going to be there in the discussion, because Onwasa is trying to sell that property.
Right.
They have a buyer for the property. Mm-hmm. Here's the stickler here. Here's the sticking point that some folks have. I've seen stuff go really bad.
Right.
The owner of the property is a developer. The developer is the one who has to file for the owner of the property is the one who has to file for request to annex, right?
Right.
He doesn't own the property. He's the one who wants to buy the property. And he won't buy the property from Onwasa until it's annexed. So Onwasa is the one who's actually has applied for the request to annex. Now, if as the owners, this property is annexed, and what happens, I ask thee, what happens at that point in time should the developer say, you know what, I've changed my mind? Not that it will happen. Not that anybody's going to break into this room right now and try to do bodily harm to us, but just in case they do, I'm like, okay, that's going to be bad. But what if? It's a big word in the dictionary, is if.
Right.
But as the people who guard the money from its citizens who are there representing its citizens, I would be very wary of annexing that property. I would be wary of it until
I look at it two ways. I see both sides of it, and it would be very hard for me to make a decision on it. But, if the property's there, you have the chance to annex it into the city and reap the benefits of the tax revenue you're going to get off of that once things are built. That's good for the city. On the other side, you're talking about a lot of building coming in, a lot more traffic,
more to it than that. Even
services you have to provide.
Get that far, suppose Onwasa is left holding the bag with this piece of property that has been annexed, and there's nothing there, and Onwasa is not going to develop it.
Like I know, they already have plans. They already have developers. They already
I understand that the developer says they're going to buy it.
Mm-hmm, right.
Have you ever been lied to before?
Yeah.
Before yesterday.
There's a lot of things you can take a look back at the last election and see where a lot of things were. Yeah.
And if I was the developer, I guess he's given the reason, or the people, I haven't talked to him, but the people who are selling the property I've talked to, and the people at Holly Ridge who are planning to annex, they've talked to him, and he says, I don't want the property unless it's annexed.
Right, exactly.
Now, if he bought the property first, based upon Holly Ridge saying, hey, we're going to annex this once you buy it, then the developer is sitting in the same boat that Onwasa and the town council is sitting in right now. How do I know they will actually do that? Suppose there is a split vote and they can't get the majority. Suppose there is something that somebody says that, wow, should I buy that property? Right. I've got to have it annexed. Well, then you got to ask yourself the question, Why does he have to have it annexed?
More bang for your buck.
If it's annexed, then he can build more houses on that piece of
Mhm.
property because he doesn't have to have streets that meet North Carolina regulations to be taken over by the Department of Transportation. Those streets that he puts in there, plans to put in there, or whatever, all of those requirements only have to be met. Only has to meet the requirements of the town of Holly Ridge.
Right. And what does the town of Holly Ridge say?
And Holly Ridge can say it's okay. You know, our requirements are not quite the same as the Department of Transportation, because the Department of Transportation requires a huge right of way and this and that and these and those, a certain standard of construction, and this they require. Their standards are more intense.
My thoughts are on the whole thing is the deal was already in place.
Oh,
everything's already been done. Who's going to develop? Who's going to build?
We know
who's going to, everything was already a done deal. They just had to go through the proper channels.
What if? Are you willing to take that gamble with somebody else's money?
Well, you know what? Evidently, they have some pretty strong holders on this, so we'll see what happens.
I know they do.
Well, I say, and then in the town of Morehead City last night.
Here's my gun. Don't bother to check to see whether it's loaded. Point it at somebody.
Well, that would be stupid of me to do that. See, so anyway, in the town of Morehead City last night, the city council voted unanimously to kill the controversial project Grandeur that they had proposed earlier. That's where they were going to redevelop the waterfront downtown, put up an amphitheater and a big, huge parking areas. But that meant getting rid of some of the city parks and pulling eminent domain on a business down there and taking their business away from them. And
can you trust the government to do what the best thing is for the people inside the city or the town or the county or the country? Well, can you trust them?
It depends. Sometimes
they change their minds, and there can always be a fly in the ointment.
They said, right, that the council voted to halt it, all the planning for the project. Says while a future board could technically revisit the idea, officials say for now that the project Grandeur is dead. Good. I'm glad, because to go force someone to take their property, this eminent domain, I think is so wrong.
Happens all the time.
This Redfish Grill has been a staple in the community for many, many years. It's been in the same location for many years as part of the family. And to walk up and say, if you don't sell, we're taking it from you, I'll be like, But they had a huge turnout last night. They had so many people turn out, they couldn't all get in the building. They were all outside. There was a bunch outside.
Remember the
Good for y'all.
Remember the little handy mark that was the intersection of Old Bridge Street?
Yeah, I knew that you were going to say that. Yes.
Remember they tore that down.
Yes,
city,
and they were going to build a welcome center.
Welcome to Jacksonville. What's there?
Nothing.
So we lost a business that was paying taxes, right?
Well, my understanding was that business had already been closed for a long time.
It had not been closed. It was. I was working down there. I've walked across the street on a regular basis.
You would know.
I know. We shop there all the time.
I don't know. Did the city buy it from them? No, I don't know the details on that one.
They had to.
I have no clue.
So, I mean, where's this welcome center?
I don't know. I remember there was some discussion about
7 years ago that it was torn down.
But I don't remember what it was.
I'm just saying.
Right.
Not that the city lied. Things change. And things can change in any deals.
Yeah, well, one thing you're not going to stop is growth.
I can try.
You're not going to stop it, Rayford.
I can try.
Your next door neighbor could decide to build another house on his property if he got it.
What property?
His big yard across the street. or next door neighbor.
You can only build one house on it.
They could go in there and have it all redone. I mean, if we can take a property that's in the county and put it into the city, just that one property, so they wouldn't have to deal with county people, anything can be done. Anything can be done.
Good luck.
That was not long ago down the street.
Smoke Act Advisory goes into effect this evening. Going to be there until late tomorrow night. Offshore today. Wind's going to be out of the southwest, 15 to 20 knots. Occasional gusts up to 25. Seas 3 to 5 feet. 5-foot intervals. Sounds in the rivers choppy. Thursday, tomorrow. Northwesterly winds 15 to 20. Gusts to 25. 4 to 6 footers. 2 to 4 near shore. Sounds in the rivers choppy. Friday. They'll start to calm down when this system that's going to be coming through today, tonight, and tomorrow gets done. Friday, northwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, becoming southwesterly in the afternoon, 2 to 4 footer. Sounds in rivers, a moderate chop.
Today, we have a chance of rain this afternoon, mostly cloudy with a high near 60. Tonight, a chance of rain, cloudy with a low around 35. Thursday, cloudy through mid-morning, then gradually clearing with a high near 45. Thursday night, clear with a low of 17. And Friday, sunny with a high near 48.
Barometric pressure here today right now is 29.91 inches. At an hour ago, we had 32 degrees here. 32 degrees an hour ago. At 5:30 this morning, it was 31 here. And right now it's 35. So in the past hour, it's jumped 3 degrees. And humidity is at 99%. We're calling for some rain out there, right?
Yes, possibility of rain this afternoon.
Okay. So 910-333-0139. What's on your mind? Love to hear from you if you want to chat. Still waiting for an update on a shooting that occurred yesterday at aboard Camp Lejeune at the housing area at Taro Terrace. One person is dead. Don't know whether another was injured or not, but apparently military law enforcement was involved, and we just don't know about. We don't know. We do know, but we don't know.
Right. Yeah, we've seen, heard, but
we've heard a lot.
We're waiting for the facts of the case.
Yeah, because they're likely going to be different than what we've read and heard slightly, and I don't want to put out any stupid
information.
Stuff.
This could be potentially wrong. You remember we talked last week about the fraud that took place in Pender County, and the county itself lost $650,000 due to a scam.
Yep.
Well, they had an update on it last night at their meeting. It was an internal investigation started shortly after they found that back in September 2025, an outside party impersonated Lower Cape Fear Water and Sewer Authority and had both sent several false invoices and requested a change to their banking details. The state auditor's office has some specific powers that allows them to recover funds, that allows them to trace funds a little bit more quickly and recover funds a little more quickly. We have, however, also invited the state's auditor office to come in and do a full review, and this is according to Pender County.
But
anyway, what happened was they said that they've put all these new safety features in now, to keep this from happening again. But evidently, whoever hacked in and sent them this email, if somebody's wanting you to change their banking details, you might want to check that return email address, because more than likely you're going to take a look at it and you're going to this is not even a real email. So it was just things fell through the cracks.
If you ever want to know about it, just hit reply to that email address, and it'll bounce back and say, nah.
A lot of, and it brings to mind talking about AI, and this is another thing about AI that you have to be really careful of. If you're on Facebook a lot, say you shop Amazon, anything that you do now, everything just interacts with everything. But if you shop Amazon and you get, it's Jennifer, and you get a ad on Facebook for Amazon, look, we have this at this certain price, click this link. The AI, there is someone that's generating fake Amazon pages, wanting you to click on to purchase that, to steal from you. So if you see something like that, go to your regular Amazon, log in there, and search for that item and see if it's real.
Don't buy it from a drop down anything, because there's no telling what it is or where it's coming from, and it's probably junk. Jennifer, good morning.
Well, good morning. I just called because nobody else was calling.
Well, we do appreciate that. We should have called when other people called too.
This morning for Terry, so while my groundhog's cooking,
what?
She cooks groundhog up there in the hills.
Sausage patties.
Oh, okay.
You don't know what groundhog is? It's ground up hog.
Look, coming from you, Rayford.
I didn't say it. She said
it. I know it, but I was like, what?
Oh, my goodness.
Now, the groundhogs are actually hibernating right now. So, but they are. Right. You see them all over the place up here. We don't eat them. I don't eat them. But, you do see them a lot when they're not hibernating.
You don't know that you don't eat them.
I wanted to call in and give my hillbilly 2.25 cents on a couple of things.
Inflation.
Look, you're talking about inflation. I read a thing, and I actually posted it, and then was going through and had deleted it, but I'll see if I can find it and put it back on there. Was talking about, it says, so sick and tired of hearing these people moan and complain about, back in the day, Grandpa bought a house on one income, and it said, but Grandma wasn't getting her iced lattes every day on her way to take kids to school and doing this and doing that. It said there wasn't flat screen TVs in every room. There was one TV in the living room, and whatever Grandpa wanted to watch, that's what everybody watched. And, they were talking about how much that the gist of it says something about Grandma and Grandpa wasn't getting matching tattoos. Grandpa had one tattoo that said Korea, and it didn't come with Instagram likes and all of this. And it said, yes, inflation is bad. Things cost more, but people are living so much beyond their means, and then blaming so much on inflation. Yes, inflation is bad. Yes, things cost a lot more than it used to, but people didn't spend like they used to. They were talking about going out and getting coffees every day, and in the article it said Grandma and Grandpa didn't pay $38 to have a sandwich DoorDash to him from 3 blocks away. It was, so that is my take on that. Yes, inflation is bad, but yes, people spend like they're rock stars and they're not. And then they complain about not having any money.
Yeah.
So that's my rant.
I think that one of the thing that I've had about as you get older, because I'm there. Even for those like me, we bought property, let's just say, at some location, like on North Topsail Beach, Surf City area, and we, back in 1950, when you could get a lot for a 50-foot lot for what, $150 or something.
Right.
Wish I'd bought a bunch of them. And then we put up basically a fishing shack, something you go down and you spend the weekends on, or Friday night, Saturday night at the most during the fishing seasons. And just something very, very modest. But then as time goes by and you work and you get a little bit more money and you put it into this place and say, you know what, why don't we build this as our retirement home? Okay, so you build it, and you build a little bit at a time, maybe sometimes even one room at a time, and you add on and you do this. And And then you get it at the point in time you turn 65 years old and you're retiring from life, and you got to fit what they call a fixed income. You're familiar with those, I know.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got this fixed income. You worked all your life to build this home a little bit at a time. And suddenly this home that probably cost you over the years $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 to build, and the property cost you $150 or $200 or $250. But over a period of time, you got all that stuff done, right?
Mm-hmm.
You bought the material, you pay taxes on it as you went along. You paid the property taxes on it, and then suddenly, well, this property suddenly becomes very valuable once they open up a bridge and they do this and they do that, and the other people come moving in and they build up townhouses and all this stuff. But your house suddenly, that $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 you got into that home is worth $400,000.
Yeah.
You're not selling it; you build it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to have to, for the rest of your years, and you hope you just don't live too long under those conditions, you're going to have to pay on $400,000 piece of property, which will increase in value every time they have a reevaluation.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're going to pay more money every year. You go pay more, and your cost of living increase for your Social Security ends up being $35, I think, take home pay for the month.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
So wait a minute.
Yeah.
Why is this fair? This is not something I built as an investment. Yeah, somebody else will sell it when I'm gone.
Well, what gets
Let
me
them pay the
is
increase in property taxes on whatever else there is at that time.
you paid taxes when you bought the land.
Yep.
You paid taxes on every bit of building materials.
Yep.
You own it, but yet you still go to pay. That's one thing. I wish I would have had a camera when we were living over there, and we had, after Terry had his stroke, and I had to trade the accordion on a van to get something, to be easier on a wheelchair and all that. And we went to get the tags, when it came due and went through that little drive-through, and I had forgotten the thing. I just gave them the thing from the last year, and it was like pushing $400. It's well over $300. I thought my husband was going to have another stroke right in the front seat of that car. He said a few choice words, and I calmed him down right quick, and I asked the lady, I said, honey, I'm sorry. I know it's not your fault. I said, but why is what I have to pay to get the tags on our car more than what they were last year? And she said, well, they've changed, and now they go by your Blue Book value. And she said, you can go and argue with it. And I said, honey, there's no need arguing. Go ahead and pay it. That's one thing I like about up here. I think they're like $20. Ours are free because we have handicap tags. But your regular Joe in Sullivan County, the tags are $20. Just $20. I think they're talking about them going to $25, but in Sullivan County, they're $20. Right now, I don't. But Sullivan County has, and that's what Onslow, in my opinion, where they're missing the boat. So you start comparing stuff after you move. Mm-hmm. Now we have a lot higher sales tax in Kingsport.
I understand.
Than what y'all do. It's like 6.5 and 9.5. But everybody that buys something here, and that's where you think about all of the tourism that's coming over there, going to the beach, going to here, going there. All of them's going to pay sales tax.
Uh-huh.
All of the people that are living on the base aren't going to pay property tax.
That's right.
But when they go out in Jacksonville and run to Walmart or Target or the Dollar General or wherever they may be, they're going to pay those sales taxes.
Yep.
And trust me, you really and truly don't pay that much attention to it on just your little bit of things. But did y'all see where Hillary and Bill refused to go, where they were subpoenaed to go testify before the whoever?
Do you
and
think
they didn't do it?
Do you think Hillary, or she's scheduled today at 10:00? Do you think she'll show up?
No.
Bill didn't yesterday. Now they're talking about taking out warrants for him, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
But everybody, okay, like the guy screaming at Trump yesterday, calling him a pedophile protector.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, you have high-ranking Democrats that refuse to go in and testify because of this. It's such a double standard. And like with the girl that was killed, I saw on the news where all of these so-called entertainers wearing the little big lapel pins, trying to make a statement.
Right.
Like what they say really matters. But what nobody is addressing is, she was a mom and this and that and the other. Well, okay. But she was a mom that dropped her children, whatever, off at a daycare and went and done this. If she cared that much about her children, why wasn't she, if she doesn't work, and I don't know if she did or not, I've not heard anything about a job, but if she did not work, why were her children in daycare? And if she doesn't work and her children are in daycare, who's paying for it? Mm-hmm. If you're not working, why put your child in daycare? Why not have your child with you if you care that much about that child? But that's just my 2 cents.
We hear about this, that, oh God, she was a mother and she was out here doing this. Oh, but that poor mom, poor mom. But poor mom, Jennifer.
Well,
Jennifer, hold on. Just a minute. Go make a point. We hear about that. And it's, oh, woe is her. Oh, woe are the kids. Oh, woe is her. What do we say about the woman or the man who gets behind the wheel of a car, drunk as a skunk, stops in front of a house of prostitution or a bar and goes spend some quality time there with his kids in the car? It happens every day, by the way, in case y'all aren't aware of that. What do we say about that person when he gets caught at it or she gets caught at it? They are the lowest form of life on earth, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yep. She goes out and violates laws. She goes out and acts the fool, cuts the fool, gets on TV, then gets killed. Right. And it's, woe is her. Woe is her.
Oh, yeah. She could have peacefully protested. She
not by parking her car across the road. She can't.
Right. She chose not to.
Not by refusing to get out of the car when ordered to get out of the car, legally, lawfully ordered to get out of the car. No, I'm sorry. You have violated laws. You're going to have to pay the consequences. The consequences should not have been death. They would not have been if she had complied. She had complied and had not run this guy down. She hit him. Did she run over him? No. Nothing, no video shows that. Did she hit him with a car? Absolutely.
Yes.
Did she intend to?
And see, she knew that I don't really give a rat's butt which way she had the steering wheel turned. That car was in drive. And as soon she took her foot off the brake, put it on the gas, it was engaged, and it was a potential weapon. Now, I'm sorry. I got somebody standing there pointing a gun at me. My hands are going to be in the air. Well, first of all, this fat girl wouldn't have ever been there to begin with. But
stop.
I'm going to listen to the darn guy with the gun.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I don't understand. And I'm going to go ahead and say it, and I know Theo's going to get madder and hot to be believed.
That'll be the first time ever.
But I've heard Theo, insurrection. But what in the actual hell do you call what those political leaders up there in Minnesota, the mayor? Oh, well, she wasn't trying to do nothing except make 3-point turns.
Oh, my God.
And, all of this stuff, defending, and then telling them, oh, get the F out of our town, do this. They are inciting this. Mm-hmm. And it's all of these women that don't have anything better to do than to do that, to do what they are instructing them to do, like a bunch of sheep just being led. Then you have the likes of the, I'm not going to call them ladies, the females on The View, and the likes of these saying, well, the white women have to go out there and do it because us black women would get shot. It's not safe for the black women to go out there and protest. Well, excuse me, why is anybody out there protesting? And why keep putting black and white? Why can't we just be people? Why do we have to be African American and black and white and brown and all of that? Why can't we just be Americans? Why does the very first thing you see have to be, unless you have put out an APB for somebody and you need to describe them, why does every news story have to lead with however old white mother or a black male or why does it have to be that?
I agree.
I don't get it. But anyways, that's just my hillbilly 2 cents worth. I think they all just close borders to Minnesota and give them a 24-hour grace period to get out if you got any sense. And after that, just close them up and let them do what they want to do.
Well, the federal government and also the states surrounding, and of course the Canadian government up there, they could all pretty much a stop to all the shenanigans, because just put a guard post at every road leading out of Minnesota, and you've got to have a good reason to leave. And if you leave, you do understand you're not coming back. Done. You do it in the surrounding states. You're not doing it in Minnesota. I mean, they're on their own. You do it about 10 feet beyond the border.
Mm-hmm. I've rambled so much I don't even know if I mentioned it or not. But the idiot that took a hold of the trooper's car and pretended like that was out in Memphis.
Yeah.
That was
Memphis.
That was out.
What a joke he was.
What are y'all thinking about doing something like that? What do you think's going to happen to you?
I don't think nothing's going to happen to me because I'm not stupid enough to do it.
Yeah, y'all might be happy to get run over by the time your day's over.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to put y'all on it because y'all that's not this chick. But that's out in the western part of the.
Yeah.
Oh, that ain't up here with the hillbillies.
You mean that's not the real Tennessee?
Oh, they're Tennessee. They're Tennessee. It's all the great state of Tennessee.
I know where it is, but it's not like the original Tennessee, folks, is it?
No.
Okay.
No. I did see where they started, the first of the year they passed it, they had the little drawings and like the little cartoon drawing things showing it, where it is mandatory that they teach gun safety in all Tennessee public schools.
Wow.
Wow. Let's say gun safety and swimming. Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Amazing.
I used to give an NRA course to children about gun safety and what you do if you see a gun.
Yeah, leave it alone.
It is mandatory.
Go get
They passed it. It is mandatory that gun safety is taught in all
it's good.
Tennessee public schools.
I like it.
Yeah. Now, I don't know about swimming in all of them. I can just speak for good old Kingsport, but swimming
it should be in all of them.
Well, y'all have a great
now they need to teach some spearfishing at your swimming pool. Spearfishing, yeah. There you go.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I know they send divers down to check the dam and stuff. Yeah. So I mean,
there you go, Rayford. There's a job for you.
No, they might open the dam while I'm there.
Swim, baby, swim.
I tell you what, back in the day, and this was several years ago, they sent divers down, and I don't remember if it was Holston, Boone, Patrick Henry. I don't remember which dam it was. It was one of the local ones because there's a bunch of them up here. And they sent divers down to check, just the structural, make sure everything's all right. And one of the guys came up and he said, I'm not going back down there. He said, there's a catfish as big as I am down there. If y'all want to go.
Those are mean.
There can be some big
catfish. Are mean.
Yeah.
You ever seen a 110 pounder?
No.
They caught one in Wellington up Cape Fear River, and the guy put it on the back of the pickup truck and brought it down so we could take a picture of him.
Trying to take one off the hook. They're mean.
I think the description he gave was it was as big as a Volkswagen, which I'm sure that. But you talk it up. But anywho, so y'all have a great day.
You too.
And I hope maybe somebody else will call in. You didn't just have to listen to me.
Oh, you were perfect to listen to. Thank you. We do appreciate it.
We figured you'd be after we called out Tennessee this morning. We figured you'd.
We figured, we need some realist people out here. Okay.
Well, I'm real.
Gotcha.
All right, y'all have a good.
Thank you, bye.
You too.
She's got natural intelligence.
Wow,
she doesn't have the artificial intelligence.
It's Theo, Jennifer. Don't go away.
Theo time. Oh boy, what's that noise? Go ahead.
Hey, deplorables, what's going on?
Oh, it's all about you.
Bless her heart. She likes to ramble on, doesn't she?
Yes, it's kind of like somebody else I know.
Yeah. You know what the football and ice have in common?
What the who and ice?
Yeah, football and ice.
Football and ice.
I don't know. What's your joke of the day?
They're both promoting legalized brutality.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. Theo, I have a joke for you.
Yeah.
What do you call a pig without legs?
What?
A groundhog.
Okay.
That came from a very famous sports editor.
Yeah. Okay. Ask Jennifer if she saw the incident on January 6th. And ask her, what did she... Do you remember what you saw, Rayford, on January 6th, 5 years ago?
Theo, did you see what occurred on December 7th, 1941? Do you remember that? Did you see any of that? Did you watch any of that?
Rayford.
Theo, did you watch anything that occurred when Theodore Roosevelt...
When they attacked the Capitol, and there was a cop screaming in between doors, and the police officers were getting sprayed with bear spray. Did you see anybody pull out a gun? When they were beating up all the officers, and 150 got hurt. Did you see anybody pull a gun and blow anybody that day? And 1,500 people went to jail, and now they were allowed out. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's just take a step back. Okay, we'll wait till this guy's investigation comes along, and then we'll talk. Let me know when he's going to be investigated, and see about the trial and what's going to happen. We wait for that. But I don't remember seeing anybody getting killed on January 6th. With all those people storming the Capitol.
According to your earlier callers, there were police officers who were killed by the insurrectionists, according to your callers in the past. You have called here and said that in the past.
Yes, because they committed suicide. They got hurt. The only person that got hurt was that girl that was going to another chamber. She wanted to go into the congressional chamber, and one of the officers killed her. That was the only that passed away. But there was officers that died. Look at it around and you'll see the reason why they died. Okay, but I didn't see any guns pulled out. Do you think they should have pulled guns out when they were paper sprayed?
So the only person that died at the hands of a police officer was the girl that was going from one place to another, and you said nobody was hurt and they didn't pull any guns.
Listen.
There were people in the chambers. There were cops. There were law enforcement officers. Hold on, Theo. Damn it! Shut up for a minute. There were law enforcement officers in the chambers with their guns drawn, as I would have been if I had been in their shoes with my gun drawn.
Okay. So
yes.
In the beginning, when they were being when we were bear sprayed.
No, they were there to protect the vice president and other individuals. They had their guns drawn. It happened.
If it was you there, you would have pulled your gun out.
Absolutely.
No, I don't believe that at all. Okay.
Well, then good. You just called me a liar. I got to go now. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm a liar.
Yeah. Okay.
Goodbye.
I said I don't.
Please explain to me the difference between a group of people who took it upon themselves, said they were told by Trump to do it, which has been proved differently, to storm the Capitol building, cause mayhem, to destroy stuff, to illegal entry. And please tell me the difference between that and what's going on in Minnesota with them destroying and them breaking and entering and them acting unruly and them baiting ICE and disobeying orders. Please tell me the difference.
I fear right now.
What?
Same thing.
This is Chris Marks.
What I fear right now, if I was in that hotel,
right,
with those guys there coming in and have limited coverage, limited protection, except for my own people, is somebody, and this is going to occur. Somebody's going to bar those doors, the entrances and the exits to that hotel one of these evenings, and some idiot is going to set fire to that facility.
That's my thoughts exactly.
Do you understand?
Have I not said that something's going to burn?
If the Minneapolis Police Department does not do something, the entire Minneapolis Police Department, every man, woman, and child who's a member of that department should be fired.
Right.
And let federal government take over until a new police department can be hired.
Because
hello, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Good morning, team.
How's the
patient? How is everybody?
We're checking. We're waiting for you. We want to know how my girl is.
Yeah, how's our patient?
She's doing well. The block that they injected into her arm to kill the pain for about 24 hours has worn off. So
hey.
You can imagine. Yeah, but the Marine is doing well and just having she's having a hard time being pampered. Or being told.
She's being assertive, is she?
Yeah.
She's probably ready for you to leave the house for a little while.
I think she is. But she's doing well. Thanks for asking. And looking forward to returning very soon to the show. I just wanted one. Yes, there was the unfortunate killing. Just to let Theo know of Ashley Babbitt. She was killed by a Capitol Police.
Right.
By a gunshot. So there was those who were, unfortunately, she was shot.
Mm-hmm.
So many of the other deaths that quote they attribute to January 6th, heart attacks, et cetera, happened after the fact. Mm-hmm. It wasn't anything that was caused during the approach, as I call it. So, and Lee, to answer your question, there is no difference. There is no difference. The difference in this was this unfortunate young lady who's now no longer with us here on Earth, decided instead of doing something else, maybe spending time with her husband or her wife, whichever one, whatever role they play, with their children, whatever, decided to, in some new video that's out there, tune her horn, literally, on her car for 3 to 5 minutes. And, I feel bad because she made those other cars go around on ice.
Yep.
The word real ice, frozen water. Endangering those people because she decided to block traffic.
If you get out,
very nice.
If you get out there and you've in your house and there is a bunch of police officers, drug officers, or whoever coming to raid the house next door to you, and you get out there and you start blowing your horn to let the bad guys on the inside know about it, you're going to jail, right?
Yeah.
You understand?
You're an accessory.
You are going to jail, interfering with an investigation. You're going to jail that night. You will stay there. What is the difference?
There's none.
Okay.
I mentioned the other last Saturday morning at 5:00, 6 fire department trucks are outside our house.
Sure.
I didn't go outside.
You might get sprayed with water.
Well, yeah, but I didn't want to interfere with what they were doing.
Yep.
And that's just what you do. You let law enforcement, let rescue personnel do their jobs. Mm-hmm. And I want, again, let me just mention to people my own personal, I've said it on the show numerous times, I'll say it again. People have heroes. And I get that word gets used too frequently to athletes. They're not heroes. Mm-hmm. They're overpaid adults who play a child's game.
Yep.
The real heroes are military, law enforcement, rescue personnel, and teachers.
And don't forget the ER people.
The ER, yes, of course. The worst paid are military, law enforcement, ER people, and teachers.
Uh-huh.
And right now, the least respected are law enforcement. Mm-hmm. And that is just a shame. And if nobody that's making these comments has any family member that's been in law enforcement, Rayford, you've been in it. If anybody doesn't know or hasn't experienced a family loved one that has been injured in the line of duty, then don't say anything. You don't know. You don't know what the experience is of putting on a uniform. And you don't know the experience that these people have to make in that quick second. You don't have time to think. And so these people that are going, there was an elderly lady, and I'm not going to go quick because I know we got to go. This elderly lady, she's probably 85. I've never been pepper sprayed in my life.
Yeah,
it hurt. Well, lady, you probably never got in front of an ICE agent and into their face and tried to hit them.
Right.
As was seen on video. So you don't do that. They don't do that. It's a lovely day in the neighborhood.
And it'll clear your sinuses. Don't worry about it. Yeah. You got to put the uniform on, and you know what you're thinking about? Besides making yourself look good when you put that uniform in the mornings or in the evenings, you know what you're thinking about that time? What am I going to have? Where am I going to eat? What am I bringing home for dinner tomorrow or for breakfast in the morning? What am I going to do? It's not that you're planning to go out there and get shot or get hurt. That's not what your plan. You don't include those in your plans. You're trained. You're prepared to take care of those issues under most conditions. Yes, there are going to be situations that are out of your control. You cannot do everything. It's impossible because there are people out there in numbers that outnumber you wherever you go. But you got to deal with it. If that's all you got to do is worry about that, it's like me going diving. If all I ever did was worry about those stupid sharks in the ocean, I'd never get in the water. Like Lee, she won't get her toes in the water.
My toes, maybe, but that's nothing past their knees. Done. I'm done.
I can't worry about anything except what I can control.
Used to love to surf. Used to love to go out there and swim, but no. Now it's like sit along the edge of the water in the old lady's rocker. I don't need y'all's coming up.
Lee, I don't blame you, but Ray, for a good point. Worry about the things you can control, and the things you can't control, don't worry about them.
I can control not getting eaten by a shark by not going in the water.
There you go. One quick thing for the Minnesota people. Here's an idea: have a cup of coffee with a cop, like we do in Jacksonville, Alonzo County.
Yep.
Coffee with a cop. It'd do you good. I'll talk to you guys real soon.
Okay.
Hope to be back in the studio soon.
Best to Kathy and who's the other girl there too?
Stephanie.
Oh, yeah, don't forget Stephanie. Kathy and Stephanie.
No, I won't.
Okay.
Right.
Take care of it.
Stephanie's the one with the right hand that slaps me when I go. I'm telling you, rest that left arm.
Oh my goodness!
Chris,
who's feeding the squirrel? That's all I want to know because I'm concerned.
Chris, starting today at 3:30, you can catch it probably on YouTube channels. But the SpaceX Crew 11 mission is supposed to begin procedure to undock. They should undock about 5:05 p.m. today.
They only got 200 miles to go when they get there.
But you know what? It's fun to watch. So that should start about 3:30 today.
Okay, thanks for the reminder.
Space flight now, and then there's the launch pad, and there's all sorts of different. And NASA's got a YouTube channel too, but it's fun to watch.
Way cool. I appreciate it. Y'all have a blessed day.
You too. Hi to Kathy.
Take care. Bye.
Wow.
Okay, I got to ask you a question when we get off the air.
Ooh-wee. World's crazy.
Take a deep breath. Yes, it is crazy. I don't want to get upset, but there are several things you can't do. One, you can't talk about my mama. Two, you don't mess my wife, my kids, my dogs, my cats.
Absolutely
and
not.
You don't spit on me or call me a liar. Because if you do, I'm going to respond accordingly. And if it hurts your feelings, you know what? I don't care. I don't care.
The thing about it is we all are entitled to our own beliefs, our own opinions. And when you have somebody come at you because you don't agree with their opinions, that's wrong.
We can disagree, and I don't care. Right. That's all right. We can disagree, but we're going to be civil about it. And if we're not going to be civil about it,
exactly,
find somewhere else to live.
And like you came from a law enforcement background. I delved in it for 18, 20 years. We see things a little bit differently, especially you, than maybe what a listener that has had no experience in law enforcement. When I saw what happened that day with that young lady, my first thought was that was a stupid decision.
She was not a young lady.
Stupid decision. And you have to put yourselves in the shoes of that cop that took that deadly shot. Was he right? Was he wrong? You have to put yourself in those shoes. And so many people found it so easy to say, oh, he could have jumped out of the way. Or he could have done this. We don't know that. We don't know that.
That is as stupid. That is just as stupid as saying, and then we heard some of these comments, you can shoot people in the leg. You can shoot them in the arm. You don't have to kill them. Yes.
I heard people say, quite a few people say that he created a more dangerous situation by shooting his gun and there was people in the area. Okay, first of all, he's trained.
Yep.
He pointed that gun right at her.
And he shot her.
He knew what he was doing. It's just not like he was out there shooting randomly. And no, there was nobody else that was in harm's way at that time because it was a dead straight on shot. But there's so many things. I'll just be so glad regardless of who's right, wrong, or whatever, I'll be glad when it's over with.
When
just can't stand it
For
anymore.
those of you who police officers are better trained than 90% of the people out there who shoot guns. You know that,
That's right.
But they're not better trained than 10% of the people who shoot guns because they don't shoot like real gun enthusiasts. They may go to the range every day.
Can't afford it.
When I was young and
Right.
I didn't have to afford it because I was able to scrounge lead from several of the tire companies in town to change wheel weights, and they saved the wheel weights for me. They're made of lead and steel stuff. I melted them all down, got the bad stuff out of them. I cast my own bullets.
I got a bunch of lug nuts.
I cast my own bullets, the lead part, right?
Right.
And then I reloaded the same brass that I already had. I bought powder in bulk.
Right.
And so bullets didn't cost me very much.
You did all your own
and
reloading.
I shot 500 a week, 500 rounds, 38 special a week, at least that many. Sometimes if I had more time, I would go out to the range more often, and that was just shooting with one caliber.
I haven't gone to the range in a
I
very
shot
long
with
time.
44 magnums. I shot with 45s. I shot with 22s. I shot with shotguns, and I shot with an AR-15. The 223 round is not a high power round. Okay. Otherwise, they'd use it for hunting deer. It's very seldom used for that. It's a man stopper. That's what it was made for.
I will say, Rayford,
But they're used for other varmints. I shot 30-06s. I've shot 308s. I had a 458 for a while. Y'all don't know what big guns are. Those are big guns.
I can tell you I've not been to the range in a long time, but I do know how to shoot and point.
Yeah.
Point and shoot.
Point and shoot.
I know how to aim at mass, you know.
But regardless of how great a shot the police officer is, they're not trained to shoot to wound.
That's right.
Let me explain to you why, as I've had to explain to other people many times. I probably could take you down with a shot to your leg. But if you've got a 12 gauge shotgun and there are lots of other people hanging around along with me, I consider me as fairly important. I don't want you shooting me. I don't want you shooting anybody else. But if you're in such a threatening manner that I am justified in shooting you, then I am justified in killing you.
Right.
I will make that decision.
Right.
And live with it. If I make a decision that, no, I think I can wound him and I will shoot his damn legs out from underneath him, I can do that most of the time. Suppose I shoot his leg.
Right.
Okay, he's down. He's not going to pose any damage, any harm. Yes, he is. He's got a 12 gauge shotgun. Number one, he can unload that thing. He can unload it.
Well,
and number two, suppose I clip his femoral artery with that bullet that I just put him on the ground with just to wound him.
Right.
He's dead before EMS can get there. You understand that?
Well,
then I have an accidental shooting and killing that I have to live with that I did not intend to kill him. No, wrong.
Well, let me ask you this. Did she have the opportunity to hit him with her car?
She had the opportunity.
Did she have the ability to do it?
She did it.
And did she put his life in jeopardy?
Yes, and others.
And that split moment, those are the three elements that justify the use of deadly force to protect
Here's the situation one more time for y'all, slowly. If he didn't fire. She was in a hurry to get away from him.
Yeah.
Get away from that scene because she didn't want to be dragged from the car, arrested, and put in jail like she should have been, like she would have been. So if she had gotten away after she hit him, he did not shoot, and she is flooring going on an icy roadway down a roadway lined with people, how many people would have been hurt?
There's a lot of what ifs
killed.
there.
There's what ifs or what ifs or what ifs.
Right.
That's not what you take into consideration. Okay, we're through.
Yeah.
I'm not coming back anymore.
All right. Okay.
I'm staying gone. Okay. Well, I'll ask you a question. It's a scheduling thing.
Stay tuned till tomorrow, and we're going to have our Downey's Prep Report with Chris Miller, sports editor
Miller.
Jacksonville Daily News.
Top and
we may have somebody else. I've talked to quite a few.
I don't know how.
I have some good guests coming in next week. Woo.
Well, we got one coming in next week too. I'm calling it. So, all right, you're live and local. Real Talk. We will see you tomorrow morning. Have a great rest of your day. Bye now.